G'day and welcome to another episode of My Blue Heaven. It's Bucky here, and yeah, guys, I am struggling. I really am. It's got me. It's got me. It's not the COVID, but it's got me. And so much for these fucking flu injections that you get, because I've been flattened by some sort of beast that's just riddled my body with sickness over the last, say, 48 hours. And I got to admit, I watched yesterday's game in a bit of a haze, just a congested haze, guys. So I'm just doing something a little bit different here. I don't want to subject you to my noggin, because it ain't good, and yeah, the voice isn't great as well. But I did watch the game. And I will try and get through this review to the best of my ability. I really enjoyed the performance. I'll put that on the table right here, right now. I thought it was a really, really good display by our boys yesterday at Optus Stadium. 14-14, 98 to 6-9, 45, a 53-point win. And at one stage there, it looked like it could have been more. And I think, given the fact that we lost a couple of players, obviously losing Kennedy with a knee injury, I thought was excellent when he was on, and McGovern as well, with that corky. The boys did look gassed. They looked tired in that last quarter, but this was a four-quarter performance. And I know Fremantle got a couple of junk goals in that last quarter. They kicked 4 goals to our 2. We controlled this game from start to finish. And in fact, other than I reckon a 5, 6, possibly 7-minute period in that second quarter where the Dockers kicked consecutive goals, one to Michael Walters, where he got out the back, and then a free kick. I reckon a pretty lucky free kick to Luke Jacobson against Brody Kemp. They got those goals back to back. I think we controlled the game, and I think that was the most impressive thing. Now, I have looked at the opposition over the last couple of weeks, Gold Coast Suns into Hawthorn, and just thought how poor they were. And I don't necessarily want to go down that line again, although the Dockers were bitterly disappointing. They really were. You'd have to be an idiot not to look at that game and think, shit, what's happened to the Dockers? What's happened to them? This isn't the Fremantle Dockers that, played finals football last year, and they've been up and down this year and inconsistent. But this was a game where, we got them at their poorest, I thought. But at the same time, I thought that first quarter, we were so switched on, and I mean really switched on, which was great, because we've seen us travel this year and not necessarily been on. And we go back to the Adelaide game, gather round at the Adelaide Oval, where, we had probably potentially got a little bit ahead of ourselves with a few wins, and then, they really touched us up. And Fremantle have the capabilities at home with their speed, if they're on, to trouble teams. But we were so focused, and we looked focused in our pressure in that first quarter. And we only we had 7 scoring shots, but we dominated. We dominated inside 50s. We dominated the ball in our front half, and it was near on impossible for Fremantle to exit their defensive 50. And every time they tried to do it, it was either Adam Sard or Brody Kemp or Jacob Wiedering. We built some sort of wall yesterday in that first quarter, and we pretty much suffocated the Dockers right from the start of this game, and they were struggling to come up for air. other than that little patch, as I mentioned before, in the second quarter. And then I think, the start was exceptional, but to go in at half time, and they may have got a bake off their coach, a bit of a roasting, who knows? But for us to come out and, kick 6 goals, 4 to their 1 behind in that third quarter, that was the most impressive thing for me. And I don't know, that was shocking, Fremantle. But this was I'm not saying it's a complete performance by us, but I suppose in the context of the game and what it meant for both teams, that, Fremantle are playing for a spot as well, and their season was on the line. And for us to come out in that third quarter and then go bang and put the game to bed, to lead by 64 points at three-quarter time and to keep them to just 2 goals. And I know they kicked 8 behinds, was an exceptional performance. I've got to admit, I hated the last quarter. It just sort of, it was like blow the siren type stuff. You're just sort of just waiting for more blokes to fall over and fucking do a knee or an ankle or something. And sure enough, we got through, although we did lose Kennedy and we did lose McGovern, which is going to be really interesting because they both look pretty serious, particularly the Kennedy knee injury. I mean, Hewitt looks like a replacement, started as a sub, but I don't know. Hewitt, to me, he is not the same player. And even when he came on, I know the game was done, but I don't know, something about Georgie Hewitt at the moment that worries me. And I thought Kennedy was exceptional, especially his marking. His marking, he got that back. He loves that ground. He loves Optus Stadium, Matthew Kennedy. He always seems to play well there in that white jumper. You would think Hewitt would just be a like-for-like replacement, but I don't know. I don't know with that one. Yeah, I think Hewitt's on the nose a little bit, I think. He needs a big one. Maybe you'll get the opportunity against Port Adelaide next week to have a big one, 4 full quarters, but he's not impressing me this year. And McGovern, I don't think he'll play. That looked like a really nasty corky. I think he'll miss this week. And looking at Young's performance in the ruck and finding a little bit of form, getting his hands dirty around the ground, does he come in and replace McGovern if McGovern goes out? We're just going to have to wait and see on that. Because I've really liked our defence. I really have. I think they've been, I don't know, it's still at times, the ability of someone like Kemp and McGovern to really defend. Wiedering's been superb, and I think those 3 smalls, once again, Chincotta, Boyd, and Newman, the thing that really worried me the most about this game was their smalls, Swiskowski, Schultz, Frederick, and Michael Waters. And other than Waters kicking a couple of goals, one out the back in that second quarter, you kick another one late. Frederick kicked one on the siren at the end of the game. I mean, Schultz hardly sided. Frederick hardly sided. Swiskowski and Waters really had no impact. And, we didn't get a lot of run from our small defenders, but it's almost like we didn't need it. The ball was sort of locked a lot of the time forward to centre in this game for us. So, yeah, I don't know. There's going to be bigger tests, although that they've got good smalls, Fremantle. Feels like there's going to be bigger tests for this group, but I think they're passing a few tests at the moment. That trio. It was a really impressive performance. I thought Wiedering was, and I'll get to the player sort of profiles shortly. Yeah, that he was great as well. When you look at this game and you look at the stats and not having a recognised ruckman, And to lose the hit out 17 to 18, but to win the overall clearance is 41 to 35 and break even in the middle 9 to 8. I mean, that's testament to, I suppose, Young and Silvani making a contest, but really our midfielders, like Cripps, Walsh, Shearer, just superb, three of them. And Kennedy as well. And roll a few others through there at times. Yeah, I think, I don't know what this means for us moving forward. I mean, it's not sustainable, surely. I mean, Tito K's right to go next week. He's got to play. So where's that leave? Young go back. Jack still sort of rotates through that second ruckman. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It makes you think about whether we ever play two ruckmen again, whether we ever play a Pitnet and a TDK in the ruck. And look, let's not get carried away here. I mean, we've won 3 on the trot, and it looks like against ordinary opposition. Although you look at Darcy and you look at Luke Jackson, and as a combo, that's pretty bloody good. You come away with a 53-point win on the road, and you get smashed 70 to 18 in hitouts, but still win the clearances. Well, it does. It's just fucking makes you wonder. And right now, I don't have any answers for that. Just to say that I thought both Young and Silvani, again, were just really hardworking. Really hardworking. I thought Young was good, and obviously Jack, again, was good. So hats off to the planning with that. I don't think we had much of a choice. And maybe it was a blessing in disguise, really. The Pitnet has gone down. And who knows? Who knows what it's going to look like moving. I don't know. I feel I watched this game, and obviously I'm crook. So I wasn't feeling the greatest. And there's something about these sort of 4:40 games on a Sunday where, I don't know, they're not great. They're not great games to watch for your own team. The prospect of getting up for work in the morning, sort of playing on your mind. Right at the moment with these wins, as much as they're really important, I'm not. I don't know, it's not that I'm not. Yeah, I'm not getting carried away. But I'm not overly excited. It's probably because the opposition has been poor. It has been poor. But this one's a little bit different because we were so ferocious. We were just like ferocious in that first quarter. And we bludged them. Is that a word? Can't get that out. Them to death, really. And they tried to get back into it, but we just kept going. So I want to pay us credit for that maybe it was our style of play that stifled them. But let's face it, if that was us on the back of the 53-point drubbing at the hands of Fremantle at Marvel Stadium, and both teams were on the same amount of wins or next to each other on the ladder, we'd be ruthless with our team in the performance. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how to think, to be perfectly honest, guys, because it's like, where the fuck, if this is real, which we still don't know yet what this is. Well, it's real. It's real, but if this style of football is going to stack up against, say, Port Adelaide, Collingwood and Melbourne over the coming weeks, and say we win 2, because we have to win at least 2 out of those 3. Sort of, I don't know. We've got to play. Look, the simple facts are we've got to play finals for this to be a successful year. It's as simple as that, because I don't give a fuck. I just do not want to be in this situation where we just miss out. Because I think that is unacceptable. And I don't want to be in that situation, that scenario where as supporters, and that's all we are. We're just supporters. We got another 6 months to wait, and we look at other teams play finals football, and that chance of the smell of cut grass and buying finals tickets or watching a big final that our team plays in and being part of it. And we're not part of it because we finished the season strongly, but we just lost a few games at the end, or we just didn't quite get enough wins. But we showed that we were capable. It's just not going to be good enough. And that's how I'm feeling at the moment. That's why I can't get excited. And I am looking for a win of absolute fucking substance. And I don't feel like, as much as it's been impressive over the last 3 weeks, I don't feel like these have been wins of absolute fucking substance. And I want that with this group. And I don't think I've seen one under Michael Voss yet. I don't think I've seen a win of look, that might be a little unfair, but I don't think it is unfair. I want to see a win of absolute fucking substance from this team. And as much as we've had some good wins along the way, we're going to need, you would think, some wins of absolute fucking substance to play finals football. And I think that's really the crux of it. Because you're going to have to play out of your skin to beat a Collingwood, for example. Maybe that won't happen, but you're going to have to play some fucking exceptional football to beat a Port Adelaide and a Melbourne. It's as simple as that. But this was I think when you look at it, where we are, where we've been, pressure a little bit off at the moment, get to travel away from home, come away like that with a 53-point win. It's an outstanding win. But yeah, we still don't know. We just don't know anything really whether this group's got it really in them. Which is fucking fascinating coming up next week. Let's have a look at these players of ours, guys. I hope I've done okay here. I don't think I have. I thought Harry was best on the ground. 20 disposals for a key forward, 14 kicks, 6 handballs, 8 marks. A lot of those contested. And only kicked 3 goals too, but he's had 351 metres gained. He was a colossal yesterday. When I watched him at training, me and my son were watching him at training the other Friday at the open training session. He's a brute. He really is. I hope he just realises that he can have so much fucking power over this competition. Is he getting there? Has it just been the quality of oppositions that we've seen slightly off to allow him to do this? He was good yesterday, though. Curnow, I actually don't think. Look, it's good to 53-point win and not have, Harry and Charlie kick fucking 10 goals. Only kicked 6 between them. But I don't know if Charlie's working that hard at the moment. I reckon he's slightly off. I know he's had 15 disposals, 6 marks, but I don't know. I just feel like he's not at his best. Owies was okay. He's had the 4 tackles, provided pressure, missed an easy shot, but kicked 2 goals. He's a regular goal kicker for us. I think he's now kicked 17 goals for the season. It was a serviceable performance, and he was one of the ones that locked the ball in the front half and was applying that pressure. McGovern at times I think he had Jai Miss, who's a very good young player. And Jai Miss didn't really have any impact on the game, and Gov was okay. But, I think that backline's working really well together. But he copped that corky and came from the field at 3/4 time. Kennedy was super before he went off with that knee injury. 18 touches, 5 tackles. His marking was superb. Those contested grabs. which we know Matthew Kennedy for, and I thought that was an outstanding crumbing goal he kicked to get us on the board in the first quarter. Fogarty, he's a bit of a surprise packet, although when he first came to the club from Geelong, he had a really good first 8 weeks at the club. He's one of our better players in that first season. He's had a lot of injuries. I thought he was gone, but 17 disposals and a goal, a nice goal in that third quarter to get us going. He's certainly making it difficult for Motlop to get back in, and Corey Durden's not that far away as well. Doherty, I thought, was super. I thought it's the best I've seen him use the ball. Where the pressure was really up from the Dockers, I'm not quite sure, but I thought it was a really good game by Doc. I haven't even best 5. Cottrell was serviceable on his wing. I think he had Aish for a while before Aish went to Walsh. Chera, I wrapped. I mean, it wasn't his best game for the year. It was probably in our best half a dozen, but to kick that goal and to work bloody hard against his old mates Brayshaw and Sarong in the middle of the ground, Darcy as well. And I think he's had a super year, and I thought he was really consistent and tough. He was tough yesterday, 6 tackles and 27 touches. Mentioned Lewis Young before, battled in the ruck, got his hands on it around the ground. That combination of him and Jack was pretty good yesterday. Wiedering, I thought, was outstanding. I looked at his stats after the game. He's only had 11 disposals. He's taken 8 marks. I reckon he took about 6 intercept grabs and about 5 contested marks. He just was like the Rock of Travolta. But he did knee Gov in the leg. Walsh, blistering first half. Just had it on a string. They couldn't go with him. Had to send James Aish to him after half-time. Quietened him a little bit. Just needs to add that goal kicking to his repertoire, which he had in his second season, but he's just not it. He's not impacting the scoreboard. Jack Silvani's had really good 2 weeks. Really good 2 weeks in that role. Which makes, as I said before, it does get you thinking moving forward. Saad, thought he got back to a little bit of form. With Wiedering, they couldn't get past him. Thought he was super. Nick Newman the same. 11 marks, 19 disposals, kept those smalls at bay from the Fremantle Dockers. Jack Martin just adds a different dimension. Didn't think he was probably as influential as he was against Hawthorn. Didn't hit the scoreboard, but that bump, his hardness, he adds a little bit of class. Brody Kemp, a little bit quiet. Offensively, a little bit off at times, lost his feet. But, he's going to have those games. George Hewitt didn't do a lot when he came on. Cunningham was good, really clean, quick, 16 touches, just that peripheral role that we need. Cripps, 24 handballs, 5 disposals, 5 tackles from the skipper. Was good. Chincotta, and Boyd, I'll mention them in combination. Didn't win a lot of the ball, but their jobs on the Fremantle Smalls was really important. And Akers against his old side. Found a bit of the pill, 23 touches. And he had the 10 kicks and 13 handballs and 434 metres gained. He was on top on his wing. That's about it, guys, for this edition, this review. Tell me what you think. I'd like to know your feelings. I don't want to be, I suppose, too negative or pessimistic about our prospects. Because it has been a good 3 weeks. It really has. But I'd like to know how you're feeling. Is this now got to the point now where finals are the only acceptable thing here, and we need to see a couple of fucking, as I mentioned before, we need to see some wins of absolute grit and substance from this team of ours. For us to really, or for me, I don't want to talk about myself here, for me to really believe in this group, I don't know if I've seen that yet. And I think we all need to see it. We all need to see it. And I think that comes against the Collingwood. I really do. I think that's the one when you really think about it at the G. Season on the line, you get an opportunity to really show if this team is fucking fair dinkum or not. It's a big ask against the Pies, and it's a big ask against Port Adelaide this weekend. Looking forward to it.